Welcome to the demo of the 24C feature, Define Operation Yield, at Work Definition, to model expected quantity for an operation, in discrete manufacturing, in Oracle Fusion Cloud Manufacturing. With this enhancement, you can now define operation yield, while creating a standard operation, and use the same in the work definition. You can view cumulative yield for the manufactured item on the work definition header. Also, consider yield to create work order with accurate start quantity. You can account for operation quantities accurately during costing based on yield. Also, issue materials to work order operation based on the required quantity, considering component yield as well as the operation yield. This helps the manufacturers to maintain just-in-time stock for the items, and also help to reduce costs and create data-backed actions to improve process quality. This demo shows you how you can use this feature. You will see how to set up the plant parameter to include operation yield in calculating the material and resource requirements. Next, you will see how to define operation yield in the standard operation. Then, you will see how to create a definition with the standard operations that have operation yield. You can review the operation yield, cumulative yield, reverse cumulative yield values for the work definition operations. You can review the cumulative yield of the work definition. The following setup data will be used in this demo. And you will see the operation yield values in the work order. Also, you will see the material and resource requirements calculated based on the operation yield values. First, let us see how to set up the plant parameter for operation yield. You can see the new plant parameter include operation yield in material and resource requirements. When the plant parameter is enabled, the material and resource requirements would be calculated based on the operation yield of the work order operations. Next, we will check how operation yield is defined in standard operations. Let us now create a standard operation. Create a standard count point operation with the operation name as assembly. You can see that the operation yield value is defaulted as 1. Operation yield value of 1 is considered as 100%. You can update the operation yield value as required. Update the operation yield for the assembly operation as 0.9. You can add resources to the operation. In this case, final assembly labor is added as a resource to the assembly operation. Now, you can create the assembly operation with the yield value of 0.9. Similarly, create operations with the desired yield values. Create a standard operation, test, with operation yield value as 0.8. Next, create a standard operation, label, with operation yield value as 1. Create another standard operation, pack, with operation yield value as 1. You have created 4 standard operations. Operations that are created are assembly, test, label and pack with yield values as 0.9, 0.8, 1, and 1, respectively. Now, let us see how to create a work definition with operation yield values. Create a work definition for the product MFGPL Prod 1 with work definition name YG_C shaft. Add the standard operations: assembly, test, label, and pack. You can see the operation yield values that gets defaulted from the standard operations. You can also see the cumulative yield and reverse cumulative yield values. The cumulative and reverse cumulative yield values are automatically calculated and displayed based on the operation values. If the operation is not referenced, then the operation yield values can be updated manually. You can add operation items to the work definition operations. You can add resources to the work definition operations. Or, the resources get defaulted from the standard operations. Now, a work definition is created with standard operations and yield values. You can now view the cumulative yield of the work definition at the work definition header level. You can see the cumulative yield of the work definition for the product MFGPL Prod 1 and work definition name YG_C shaft is 0.72. This work definition can be referred by cost management for the cost roll-up. Also, supply planning collects the work definition planned orders for the product. Next, let us create a work order. A standard work order is created for the product MFGPL Prod 1 for 100 quantity with the work definition name YG_C shaft. You can see the operation yield values. Also, you can see that the material and resource requirements are calculated based on the operation yield values. Note that the operation yield value is shown as 0.9 for the assembly operation, 0.8 for the test operation. Similarly, the operation yield values are displayed for the label and pack operations based on the work definition. You can see the operation items required quantity is calculated and shown based on the operation yield value. Also, you can see the operation resources required usage is calculated and shown based on the operation yield value. Since the work order quantity is and the operation yield of the assembly operation is 0.9, 90 quantity is expected to be yielded at the end of the first operation. So, the second operation, the test operation, will have 90 quantity to be processed. Hence, the required quantity for MFGPL Comp 2 is 90, and source usage for kit assembly labor is 90 hours. Similarly, the operation yield of the test operation is 0.8, 72 quantity is expected to be yielded at the end of the second operation. So, the third operation, the label operation, will have 72 quantity to be processed. The required quantity for MFGPL Comp 3 is 72, and the resource usage for final assembly labor is 72 hours. Also, let us see the other behavior of the plant parameter, include operation yield in material and resource requirements. Uncheck the plant parameter. You can create a work order and see that the operation yield values are shown as per the work definition. But note that the operation item required quantity and the resource usage are calculated as per the work order quantity and not as per the operation yield. This is due to the plant parameter setup not to consider the operation yield in material and resource requirements. Some considerations when using this feature are: operation yield value is defaulted as 1 that is, 100%, and can't be a negative value. Operation yield is applicable for discrete manufacturing only, applicable for work order product only, not for the co-products or byproducts. Users can create OTBI, Oracle Transactional Business Intelligence reports, and use BICC, Business Intelligence Cloud Connector views, to include operation yield. Also, note that operation yield is not considered for the process manufacturing work definitions and work orders or orderless transactions. Operation yield is not considered in the plant parameter setup to calculate material and resource requirements in contract manufacturing organizations. You can also refer the demos from Cost Management and Supply Planning to know about how operation yield is managed in costing and planning process. This is the end of the feature demo. Thank you.